Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for listening to Real Estate with Ryan. I'm Ryan Coleman, owner of Hometown Realty. If you don't know me and tuning in for the first time, thank you for joining our show. Got a good show for you. My lovely co-host, April, is not here. So if you guys have been around town, you may know that the flu is widespread in Knox County, and unfortunately, my little one, and then now my wife has the flu. So she's doing better. Best of wishes to them, but she couldn't be here. And yes, I've been running around the house with a mask. So it's been that kind of crazy week. I know a lot of you guys have been experiencing that and so ready for this season and the flu season to be over. It seems like it's always something going on. It's just, that's the crazy life that we got going on. You guys have little ones and kids. Hope they get well if they're sick. And thank you for tuning in. So we got a good show for you. Got some real estate news I want to go over with you. Kind of some up deal closings and congratulations. Those are always good. Hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day. Spent time with your significant other and enjoyed that time. Looks like we're not spending the Valentine's Day that we thought. Me and April said last show she was not a chocolate fan, but I think she might be a chocolate fan or anything to get out of that house. She said she's stir crazy. She's been in the house for 5 days, so you can imagine that Valentine's Day and a dinner look really, really good now. So that being said, we've got some congratulations to a lot of our great clients. Whisper Trace Rizix on their new purchase coming up this week. So excited for them. The Fontenot's, congratulations on their purchase on Doubletree. Dogwood Street, our sellers, Cadence, closing on that particular transaction. Congrats. I know that's been in the market for a long time. We've got a hold of it, and we're helping them to go to closing pretty quickly. So excited for them. Congrats. Hunter's Glen, Mr. Evans, congratulations. Pleasant Knoll, Mr. Woodard, congratulations. Oak and Gate, Mr. Browning, congratulations on that relocation. They're closing here this week as well. Super excited for them. Been a busy week, starting off February very strong. Brand new listings we've got in Windy Meadows Lane. That's an exciting new listing. It's got a perfect mother-in-law suite. What I like about that is, our seniors are getting older. Mom and dad are needing places. Assisted living and all that is very, very expensive. I like about this property, it's secluded in the mountains. It's got a lot of acreage. It's very private. And they've got it where there's a mother-in-law suite attached. Full kitchen. Bedroom size are very spacious. Perfect for 3Os, wheelchair accessible. It's really a nice little pad, over 3,000 square feet, split layout. You definitely want to check that out. That's going to be listed this week, and I think it will go pretty quickly. There's a big demand for that kind of property, and it's immaculate. You can look more on our listings online at ryancoleman.org. I'll run through these real quickly. New commercial listing out in Loudon, nice office building. Also commercial law office building out in La Follette. New listing residential out in Twin Hill Lane in Jacksboro. Rudder Lane, our new Knoxville Symphony Showcase. Another Knoxville Symphony Showcase home. Beautiful luxury estate here in West Knoxville. It's got everything you can think of and more. Over 9 acres. That's going live this week. You definitely want to tune into that one. New listing on Andes Ridge in Rocky Top. Hatcher Top Road in Sevierville. And then Steer Creek in Tellico Plains. Beautiful property. Over 200 acres. Overlooks the mountains. You have to wait to see. You're going to wait to see our drone work and all our videography on that. It's going to be really one that you want to take a look at. And so that's what we've got busy going on for the first week. Thank you for tuning in. We've got an awesome show. As the market approaches us and we're coming out of the winter markets, some of you guys have been on the market and maybe for some reason, a combination of reason, your home didn't sell or you didn't have luck. And as we approach the spring market, we're thinking about putting it back on the market. For whatever reason on your moving plans, now is the time, 2019. We've got a great opportunity. The economy is moving in a record pace. And still, inventory is still lower in the right price ranges. We have a great opportunity. But even in a good market that we've experienced in the last 2 years, it still comes down to pricing. So we're going to talk about the importance of pricing your home to sell in any market, up market or a down market. So I get this question routinely. me, the team, the staff, are always talking with our clients about pricing your home to sell. How do you determine value? How are we going to price it? And how are we going to stand out from the competitors on the market? Well, let's face it, guys. As a seller, and a lot of these properties that we just went over, they're beautiful. You guys have spent a lot of time, a lot of efforts with the upgrades to the kitchen, upgrades to the vanities, the flooring, just the design, especially some of our luxury properties. I mean, these are some of the best properties, the finest properties in Knoxville. So who wouldn't want to demand the highest selling price? But there's a market for everything in any price. You know, we always say, and I always talk to my clients, we say real estate is always a meeting of the minds. It's where a buyer and seller come together. Our job is marketers and to bring that transactions together. If we're working for you as a seller, our job is to bring the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. We know that most homes that are listed that are priced right, have the right agent working with them, and the right marketing strategy are going to sell in record time. And usually that's where you'll see that there's multiple offers or competing offers. Now, vice versa, if it's not priced right and we don't have the right marketing, then we may miss the boat. Now, it's so important that we look at pricing and how to determine that pricing and how buyers think of pricing. We always have a conversation that we talk with our clients, and do we determine how buyers determine value? I think it's very simple, and it's probably what you used to purchase your home when you made that big decision. All of our buyers, when looking for property, are going to do something called comparison shopping. Comparison shopping is no different whether you go to the superstore or the supermarket, or if you go into Walmart or the clothing store. You're going to comparison shop. That's how we determine value. You know, if you're looking for a home in West Knoxville for 3,000 square feet for X price, you're going to look in that school district or that area. You may even now with private schools, homeschooling, you're going to look in an area that may even be 15 to 20 miles radius. We have some clients looking up to 30 to 45 mile radius. All that means as a seller, it's so much harder to comparison and know how to price your home. Let's face it, if we go online, we go to Zillow and Realtor.com and all these little crazy sites that are out there, they have these things called Zestimates and evaluations. Really, they're not. They're just kind of a rubber stamp or kind of broad brush of the market. The challenge with using those and using those in any kind of market that goes up or down, they're not accurate. They're going off of, let's say that there was a distress sale in your neighborhood or a tax sale or a foreclosure, or maybe have you ever seen on Zillow where they don't have the right information? I know you see that all the time. And biggest frustration is we're using that to see what the value is. But you know, as consumers, when you're not ready to have an agent out to the property, you're not really understanding or wanting that kind of in your face, 3 agents at one time, I get it, and you just kind of want a preliminary approach, that's all you have to go by. But these are some important things that I want to talk about, what we need to do to price a home to sell and how we determine that. So we go with the comparison shopping. I think it's very important that if you're in a subdivision or you're in a neighborhood, use at least 1 or 2 comparable in the subdivision. The biggest thing that we'll have in the marketplace that we're in now is even if you're in the luxury market, we have buyers doing appraisals on the high-end properties as well, that we're going to look outside the market to see what is sold. Because look, the last thing that a buyer wants to do is come to the closing table a week before closing and to realize that they've overpaid by $10,000, $15,000, or $50,000. And that leaves a bad taste in the mouth of the buyer, and then a lot of work for the realtors to try to put that deal or keep it together from, exploding at the last minute. So we don't want to do that. So a first baseline is kind of compare homes that are in our subdivision or one that has sold recently. And I get it, on a lot of the custom homes and things out there, they're not going to be the exact same idea. But square footage, vicinity, upgrades will do us a lot of justice to go through that. And what you want to do is make sure when you do interview agents that you have an opportunity to at least meet with 1 or 2. I would say at least 2 or 3. Have an opportunity to evaluate that. The biggest thing that agents will do on their walkthrough is they're going to do comparison, something called a CMA. It's a competitive market analysis. It's not an appraisal, but it's a mini appraisal that basically the agents come out and do. And we go through things and we look at active homes that are in the market. We look at what's pending. Now, pending is really great, guys, because that is an active sign of what buyers are willing to pay. And then we look at solds. Ideally, we want to look at solds and look at that process as we go through the whole selling cycle. We're coming up on a break here in a few minutes. I've got a second half of the show. It's going to be really great. Stay with us. Real Estate with Ryan. We're talking about pricing your home to sell, and we're going to see you on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Is it time for a new place? Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty has the experience to sell your home quickly and help you find the right home for you. And if he can't sell it right away, he will buy it himself. Life changes, and sometimes your home needs do too. Buying or selling, turn to someone you know you can trust. Ryan Coleman at Hometown Realty.
Hey guys, thank you for staying tuned to Real Estate with Ryan. We're talking about pricing your home in a good market, bad market, really the importance of pricing your home to sell and not leaving any money on the table. So thank you for staying tuned. Again, if you're tuning in, you can always catch us every Saturday here with Real Estate with Ryan. If you need us at the office, it's an easy number. It's 693-SOLD, or visit me online at ryancoleman.org. I want to get into this show. I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to cover a lot of different things. So appreciate all you guys following us today. So we're talking about pricing your home. We're talking about things what you need to do. And we were talking on the other side of the break, talking about having agents come in. We do that comparison approach, something called a CMA, and we'll go through that process, kind of a mini appraiser. We call it also a broker price opinion to give an idea what the market will sell. The biggest challenge in that, and make sure that what you want to watch as a consumer thinking about putting your home on the market, all the agents will have their pricing. And again, it's a very competitive business that we're in. A lot of times the agents will also give you pricing that may be higher than where the market is. Or, they're fighting to get the most amount of money that they can for you. You have to make sure that you don't price your property on the agent that you choose. Meaning, if Agent A gives me, you got agent A, B, and C. Agent A gives me the best price and the highest price and is really believing in my price, but agent B is more competitive and realistic and is shooting straight with you on where the market needs to be. You want to make sure that you don't make your decision on the agent that you choose, not just on the price. A lot of agents will something called buying a listing, where they'll come out and tell you a price that you may want to hear that sounds really great and it's really inviting, but at the end of the day, it's not really reflective on the market. You guys have seen those listings. We went on one the other day, and it was almost $500,000 overpriced. And it makes you really come into the meeting going, what in the world were they thinking? How were you $500,000 overpriced on a property and there's not sales to justify it? That's what we have to watch. As much as you want those numbers, guys, you're looking for a professional that will tell you what you need to do to get it sold, but shoot straight with you. And remember how important it is that a buyer and seller are determining the price. It's not the agents. The marketing and the agent and the activities is going to be the determining factor of getting it sold. But I tell all of our clients, 80-90% of our work is done in our meeting, and that's determining the right agent and the pricing that we put on it. I want to go over some stats that you may or may not know, but I think you find how pricing a home is everything in this market, regardless of an up or down market. Below is an indication of how housing, pricing the home to sell, really affects you in the typical time on the market. So within the first 4 weeks, the difference between the list price and the selling price is only 2.9%. Week 4 to 12, we go 4.8. It almost doubles, right? Week 13 to 24 is 6.4. And then when we go over 24 weeks, we could look at almost 9.1%, almost 10% by not pricing it right. How many homes have you seen in the market where they got the right marketing, got the right agent, and the right prices on it? Well, they're sold, percentage of homes sold within the first month, 40%. Second month, that steers down or steps down a little bit to 7%. The third month, 7%. Fourth month, a little opportunity to pick up at 20%. And then 5 and 6 goes to 10%. Month 6 is 7%. So essentially, in the first couple months, the opportunity is so strong to grab the audience's attention. And we have these conversations, and I know you guys may be listening on the other side, and you may be my clients listening on the other side, and we always have that conversation. Well, Ryan, we could always list it here, and we can come down. And we definitely can do that. Once you've established a price, it's very challenging to raise the price. I have a lot of clients that we help on a routine basis that we've come in and the other agent, or for a combination of reasons, didn't get it done, didn't get the job done. And we've come back and we've put a whole new marketing plan and we put a new approach on it. And a lot of times the sellers want to change the price. There are those rare occasions that we can change the price, the market is changing, that we can get more money. But you have to think of it like this. Once you've advertised to the public that we've accepted a certain price and that we're willing to entertain offers at, let's say, let's just use a round number, $300,000, right? It's very hard to come back around, even if the agent prior missed the boat, to come back at a higher price. Because more than likely, all we're going to get is other agents or buyers saying, how did you raise the price? What improvements did we do? And so it's an uphill battle, and it's really not something that we should start with. So once you've lowered the price, I do agree you can't go back up. And so you want to make sure that we do that. Understand that when you're comparison shopping, when you're looking for homes, you want to try to compare the most similar and the similar square footage. Try to be within a couple miles of your home, 1 to 2 miles of your home, to go over values and comparables. Once you start going outside of that area, it starts becoming more challenging. And the appraisers more than likely are not going to use those sales. Remember, school districts are very, very big. And what may be in Farragut and Hardin Valley may not be in the next school zone or whatever your school zone is. So certain school zones will also reflect a higher resale value. Make sure that your square footage is within 20 to 30%. Make sure that you keep your age of a home. Don't be over 10 years difference or longer. Don't compare a home in 1968 to a home in 1989. You know, they're not the same year built. There's a lot of different differences in those properties, and we want to try to compare apples to apples as much as we can. That's so important. It's also very important for you as a consumer putting your home on the market to make sure that you do your homework before interviewing the agents. So you can make a determination to say, okay, these are the most recent sales, what's active, what's pending, and you're not going to have this information of really the pending and things like that. You may find them online, but they're very difficult. There's a lot of value in us coming out ahead of time, talking to you about this process. You know, it's always that conversation that we want to have, and pricing's everything. But who's giving you the pricing? There has to be some credibility. You need to trust that agent that they're not just trying to get a listing, that they're trying to get a listing to help service you and accomplish your goals. You know, we've got 3 transfers that are coming up this week, and we're having those conversations earlier so we can talk about pricing. And sometimes it's not just pricing, guys. It's getting the home in show condition. Anything we can do on these walkthroughs that really help you improve showability and to make that 40% the first month to go right under contract. We always want that multiple offer effect. We're always striving to get that. Do not confuse active listings with past sales. Remember, just because somebody's on the market in our neighborhood, they haven't sold. You know, we can put any price on it, but try not to study that as a determining value, okay? This is probably one of the biggest things, and it probably will stretch us into the break or to the close of the show, but how many times sellers, and you guys are out there, I know you've said it, We have time on our hands. So we have time on our hands, so I'm in no rush. Remember, 2 factors that determine you selling your home: your motivation and why we're selling it, and the price. It's the only 2 factors that really matter. Because if you're not motivated and we're not on board to, go through that whole process and do it, then more than likely you won't price it to sell. And if you don't price it to sell, we just went over the numbers, and that the longer time on the market is not an advantage. Now, there's several properties, the rural that you go out, properties that are unique, properties that are higher price. There's less pool of buyers, so they're going to sit on the market. There's a lot of different things, but this all comes to you and the agent that you hire. That's why it's so important that you have an agent that's actively involved in the business. We're actively involved every day with what we do. We have a passion to help people. We have a passion to be involved. We like to think of ourselves as the experts. That's why we do this show every week, so we can let you know what we know and how we can help you make a big decision. We know how stressful it is moving from one state or even a local move. You got to get it right the first time. And as we come up on this spring market, if you miss it, you may roll over to the summer months. So that's so much important. I'd rather price it to sell and turn down offers. I said, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'd rather price it to sell and turn down offers than never have an offer at all. And lastly, very importantly, think like a buyer. We do a lot of walkthroughs. We come through the property and we walk through the property, and I'm always looking at the home. That's why a walkthrough is so important, as the eye of the buyer. What are they seeing? What are they thinking? Are there things that are distracting them from the view? All these things come into play. All this will help you when you price a home. When in doubt, just give us a call, man. We'll be glad to help you. We'll take care of everything for you. I hope you find this show helpful. You can reach me at 693-7653. That's 693-SOLD. Or visit me at ryancoleman.org. Hope to see you guys next week. You have a great weekend.